watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Showtime finally releases their highly anticipated boxing schedule. And as always, they have the best boxing calendar in the sport. The calendar kicks off this weekend with a real good card. Brandon Figueroa versus Mark Moxeo. You got Jarrett Hurd making his return to the ring. And you also have two undefeated fighters, Vidal versus Garcia. And it's funny how the schedule is set up, because if you look at the schedule, it looks like the fights just get bigger and bigger. Because the following weekend after the Mark Moxeo, Brandon Figueroa fight, then we have Tim Tszyu versus Tony Harrison. That is a really, really good matchup. You know, usually when a fighter pulls out and there's a replacement fight, it's usually nowhere near as big as what the original fight would have been, which would have been Jermell Charlo, the undisputed champion, against Tszyu. But this Tony Harrison fight against Tszyu is still a really, really big competitive fight. I'm not saying it's as big as Charlo versus Tszyu would have been, but it's still a big fight because this will be still Tszyu's biggest test against Tony Harrison. Then 2 weeks after that fight, we have an even bigger fight, which is David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. And that is a stacked card, because for the first time, we have Joey Spencer stepping up in competition against the undefeated Jesus Ramos Jr. Then you have what I think is the best fight on the undercard, Chris Colbert versus Jose Valenzuela. Two previously undefeated fighters coming off of two big upset losses. So this is a crossroads type of fight for them. Then we move to April. They have the Showbox series on April 7th, and then they have a pretty good card with Sebastian Fundora versus Brian Mendoza. Undefeated fighter Brandon Lee, he's taking a little bit of a test, step up in competition, fighting against Pedro Campa, the man that just lost to Teofimo Lopez when Teo made his debut at 140. So I think it's a really good opponent for Brandon Lee. Then we fast forward to the 22nd of April, the biggest fight in recent years, not just the biggest fight of this year. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. It appears this is the fight that Showtime was waiting for when it comes to releasing their schedule. In May is going to be a good title shot, Albert Puello versus Rolly Romero, and Gary Antoine Russell returns, and he's fighting against an undefeated fighter in Kent Cruz. And in June, you have Carlos Adames against Julian J. Rock Williams, and Erickson the Hammer Lubin against Luis Arias, another good matchup. So while this is a really good schedule, and like I said, the best schedule in boxing compared to any other network, when Showtime released this schedule, they said, and we're not done yet, meaning they still have big fights to announce. And most people assume that that's going to be Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. The fact that Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman wasn't on this schedule further confirms the rumors that he's negotiating with Terence Crawford behind closed doors. There would be no other reason for Errol Spence to not be on this schedule that goes all the way to the end of June. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
One of the most anticipated dog breedings has finally been confirmed. The pups from this pairing of Zeta and DMX will be born very soon. We are now accepting deposits. Our pups will come with ears cropped and a 2-year health guarantee. Get ahead of the pack on purchasing a puppy by contacting NWA Cane Corsos on Instagram at NWA Cane Corsos. Call or text 479-326-1603 with any questions. A guard dog is your first line of defense. These will be the right pups for the job.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.